Hi, I'm Catherine and I'm a naturopath from Melbourne, Australia, and today I would like to talk to you about 10 herbs that have recently been researched and shown to be effective for anxiety. So just before we start, I just wanted to say that taking herbs as tea is probably safe and you're not going to have any adverse reactions, but therapeutic levels of herbs can be dangerous if they're taken for too long, in the wrong conditions, or if they interact with any medications you have. So firstly, have them checked for any medications, and if you are going to take therapeutic levels of a herb long term, you're best to see a naturopath, a herbalist, or someone that's trained in herbal medicine to guide you through that process. So firstly, I want to talk to you about a herb that is really well known, but a study has come out about it for an anxiety, and I'm sure you've all heard about this herb. Then I'm going to talk about 10 herbs that have been researched for anxiety and what they are, and break those down into categories. And the last category is going to be my 2 favourite herbs for anxiety that I prescribe in my clinic a lot and I see really good results with. So the first herb that I want to talk to you about today, there was a study done. It was a systematic review and meta-analysis, so a high level of research. And it was a herb that is very commonly well known, although I don't think of it as an anti-anxiety herb so much as a digestive herb. It's from the daisy family and it is chamomile. So chamomile was trialled in treating a state of anxiety, generalized anxiety disorder and insomnia, and it was found to be effective for anxiety, the generalized anxiety disorder, but not so much for insomnia. So if your anxiety is keeping you awake, this is probably not the herb of choice. But this is a really easy way to start with herbal medicine yourself. You can buy a chamomile tea almost anywhere, and you would need to take a few cups each day to notice an effect. Personally, I would put like a 1/4 teaspoon of honey with it or something to sweeten it. But if you like it plain, that's even better. And if you've got anxiety together with gut issues, it would be a really beautiful herb that you could start taking to treat that yourself. So a systematic review was done on 10 herbs that have enough studies and evidence done to show them to be effective for anxiety. And I'm going to break these down into a few different categories. So the first category of herbs is hypnotic herbs. Now these are herbs that help you with your sleep. Now I know that hypnotic sounds very strange and mystical and odd. It's not a word that we use anymore, but it basically means it induces sleep. Nothing weird, nothing odd, and a herb that induces sleep won't give you that groggy feeling in the morning. It should help to calm your nervous system, give you that sleep, and you'll wake refreshed in the morning. All right, so I'm going to break these herbs down one by one. The first one is hops. It's a hypnotic herb and a mild sedative. So the second herb is kava. It's a hypnotic herb, a mild sedative, an adaptogen and a muscle relaxant. So if you've got sore muscles, this might be the herb of choice for you. The next one is passion flower. This is one of my favorite herbs for sleeping. So it's a hypnotic, an anti-anxiety as well as a sedative. The next one is valerian, which is a mild sedative and anxiolytic as well. Just be mindful sometimes, and I haven't seen this very often, some people can find valerian stimulating and they won't sleep. Not very common, but occasionally it happens. Just a note with your sleep, if you are struggling to sleep and it is long term, do have it checked out in case there is an underlying issue causing that. The next 4 herbs I'm going to break down are sort of a variety of herbs, so you can pick and choose depending on your circumstances which of these you think would be best for you. So the first one is chamomile. Hey, we discovered that one earlier, but it's come up again in this study. So you're already all over that, and I'm sure you're planning to drink some chamomile tea soon. The second herb here is called gotu-kola, sometimes known as pennywort, and it is an adaptogen, helping you adapt to stress as well as a nervous system tonic, as well as to help with the anxiety. So that's a really good one to use in that case. Ginkgo is another one, so that's a neuroprotective, and cognition enhancing. So if you're feeling anxiety and you've got this really foggy brain going on, that could be a really good herb to help with that. And the next one is withania. This is also known as ashwagandha, and this is a mild sedative and adaptogen. I really love this one for cases of stress or when conditions and health issues have begun at a time of stress. I find it really helpful to use in those cases. So looking at my favourites, and the first one of my two favourites is skullcap. So Scutellaria is a nervous system tonic, and it's used for anxiety in a case of exhaustion. So if someone has had high anxiety or high stress for a long time, often being in that state uses up a lot of energy and can leave the person exhausted. So skullcap, I see really lovely results. I use it a lot in my clinic, and I find it really lovely to use in these cases. Now, the problem with this herb is that you might find it hard to come by. Whilst it's an awesome herb and it's great for clinical use, it can be hard to come by, and often in order to get the dose that you would want to be seeing a naturopath or herbalist so that they can manage that well for you, but it's a lovely herb. I really like it for anxiety. The second one of my favourite is lemon balm. Now, you may have heard of this herb. If you grow it in your garden, it can grow like a weed. Usually I would use this in a case of anxiety together with digestive issues, particularly if your digestive issues come on with anxiety. It's a really good herb to target that digestion and anxiety together. It really strengthens that nervous system, it lifts the mood and targets those digestive issues at the same time. And so you can make this in a tea. It's commonly available and a really lovely herb to take if you do have anxiety for something that's coming up and it's leaving your stomach churning. I hope you found this video helpful today and you've learnt a little bit more about herbs and what they do. There is a lot to know about herbs. There can be complexities around them, but I'm really glad that you are here learning about herbs today. If you want to know more about natural medicines for anxiety, you can watch my other video here. Otherwise, have a lovely day and I'll see you later.